Hello, hello, hello. So I know I have been quiet on here for a while. So I wanted to come live because I love going live on Fridays and talk to you about the fact that my brain is kind of fried right now. My brain is kind of fried right now. And if you know me, you know that I don't believe in burnout. I believe that as long as you are, using the strategies that you need to use, as long as you're aligned with your purpose and you're taking care of yourself, that you don't have to burn out. And that burnout's completely optional. So I want to talk to you because sometimes people confuse that with, that means that I don't get tired, or that means that, life doesn't happen to me, or that's not practical for them. And so I want to share, what I do to avoid being a basket case, even when life happens. Even when I've been sick for a week and my brain is just fried, and that's okay. All right. So I want to share with you how to avoid being, like I said, totally burnt out and just exhausted and drained, because even though my brain is fried, even though and my body has been doing weird things over the last week, I am still getting stuff done. I'm still being productive. I'm still doing things and making things happen, but it's just in a different way. It's about shifting your perspective about it. So, I don't know why that's open. The sunglasses thing is hanging open. In any case, say hi when you're on. Let me know that you are watching. But I'm just going to share. I didn't take notes for this. I don't know what I'm going to talk about on here. So we're just going to wing it. But to give you some backstory, like I said, I've been sick for about a week. I'm not quite sure what's happening with my body. I've tried all the things. If you have more suggestions, I'm happy to hear them. But I've tried the essential oils. I've drank all the tea I can drink, elderberry syrup, cold medicine, conventional over-the-counter cold medicine, what else? All sorts of natural remedies, holistic remedies, and naturopathy, and nothing that normally busts this kind of stuff for me has busted it. So who knows? Who knows what's happening? But as a result, it's kind of made my life go a little bit bonkers, which is fine. Life happens, and it's not about making excuses, and it's not about letting that get in the way. But what you can do, and what I've been doing to, one, stay sane, and two, still make sure that I'm taking care of myself and taking care of my body so that I don't totally crash. Because to me, that's what burnout is it's that total crashing. I am currently non-functional. It's needing to be hospitalized because you're so stressed out, or needing to be hospitalized because your body is shutting down, both of which have happened to me, and being in a severe case of non-functioning, not being able to get out of bed or do anything. And so that is my definition of burnout. And so that's what I'm talking about, how to avoid, even when life happens, even when you're sick, even when things seem to be not going right. So that's what I want to share. And we're going to try to make this coherent because, like I said, my brain's not really working, and it's okay. Roll with it. We'll roll with it. But I want you to think about, how can I adjust here? What do I need to adjust here? And how can I adjust my priorities? How can I make this happen? What are my real priorities? And what actually needs to happen in my life, and how can I make that happen, and continue to do the things that I need to do. And where am I okay with dropping the ball? For me, I am someone who prides herself on getting up early every single day. I wake up between 5 and 5:30 every day and get things done and all of that. But I haven't been this past week. Every once in a while I will, or 6 or something like that. But I've been letting myself sleep in a little bit or take naps when I need to, because I know that that's what my body needs, and that taking care of your body is step one of the process, and nurturing it with water and fluids and, trying different remedies and all of those things are really, really important, especially if it's your body that you feel is breaking down a bit. And thinking about how can I mentally prioritize as well? How can I prioritize my schedule, the errands that I have to run? How can I make my life, simpler isn't the right word, but more aligned with what I want and what's important to me and my personal priorities? My schedule, my time control methods, that's another training in and of itself. I actually did like a full hour-long training on that in my VIP membership community. So if you want more info on that community, drop me like a peach below. It's called the Kick in the Peach Experience. How I do all of my like scheduling, all of my time management, all of that kind of stuff in there. It's a full hour long. If you want that, drop a peach below and I'll send you the info on how to access that. But it's about rethinking what's urgent and important and what's important. And anything else can go by the wayside for now. That's really, really the key there. And the other thing that I want to talk to you about is like staying true to your purpose and like what's really important to you. And this is something that Grant Cardone talks about, is that, that's how he cures burnout, is like just stepping back into like, what are your goals? What's the bigger dream here? Like, what is that main mission? Regardless of what you do, regardless of who you are, like you still probably have big goals and big dreams and big desires, and reminding yourself of that is a big driving force to help you like launch into, okay, what's actually going on here. And so for me, a part of that has been reevaluating my business. And I've actually been doing this for longer than a week. I've been doing it for a little while because I was like, my business doesn't feel aligned anymore. Like this coaching doesn't quite feel like a fit right now. I'm growing and I'm up leveling, and there's something that feels wrong here. There's some sort of dissonance happening here. And I had to dig into that, and I had to evaluate that and pick that apart and kind of sort that out. And what I came up with was, I love talking about the stuff that I talk about. I love talking about that. I love teaching people. I love speaking. But my business needs to shift less from one-on-one coaching and private coaching to more of group mentorship and speaking and, like media features, like I've been on podcasts and that sort of thing. And I really love that. And so that was a big shift, and it was a scary shift. But it was something that needed to happen. So when you do these things, like take care of your body and realign with your purpose, realign with your bigger mission and your bigger goals, you can look at, okay, maybe something needs to shift here. Of maybe my body's trying to tell me something. I was talking to my mom the other day, yesterday, and she was like, she's a dietitian if you don't know her, but she was like, sometimes when we're sick, it's just our body telling us that we're stressed out or we need to take a break, or like it needs something. It's trying to get you to pay attention. And I fully believe that as well. And if you've heard me talk about that, that I've talked about that exact thing before. And I told her, I said, it's weird because I don't feel stressed out. I'm not super anxious because I used to be someone, like I said, who was really prone to, I call it anxiety sickness. That's not a real term. It's a term that I made up. But it was the physical symptoms that I got from anxiety and from stress. And I said, I know, but I don't feel that. I don't feel the stress. I don't feel the anxiety. And I think that a lot of it is due to, a lot of this sickness is due to this big shift that I'm making, is due to this pivot that I'm making in my business and in my career. And that's a big deal. And my body is like, pay attention to that, please. Pay attention. And be focused here. So thinking about what is happening here on not just like a physical level, but like what might my body be trying to tell me? if that's where you're at, of you're having physical symptoms as well. So, all in all, the message of this live is to just like take things in stride and be okay with adjusting the sails. And those are some like tangible tips on how to do that, because I think that we hear these things, you know, we hear make adjustments, like be okay with things falling by the wayside and like those sorts of general tips, but it's not tangible. It's not like, how do I actually do that? So I wanted to give you some actual like real live help to actually do those things that are kind of generic advice, and how I do that, and personal examples of how I've made that happen. And so just realigning and like being okay with like sometimes your body needs a break. Like I'm okay with the fact that my brain is fried. I'm not going to beat myself up about it or like feel really shameful or guilty or like you know, like I'm doing something wrong because my brain is fried. And just saying that just happens sometimes and it's okay as long as I'm doing the things that I need to do. Shame is a useless emotion. And so I think that the most important thing is that underlying a lot of the times when we are not doing the things that we need to do for ourselves and for our bodies, a lot of times what's underlining that and what's causing that is this sense of shame. So getting rid of that, letting that go is so, so vital. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I hope that this was coherent. I hope that this made sense to you. If you got some value from this, or you were like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, please let me know below. Please tell me that I'm not just rambling into the void, because I've been known to do that. So with that, I will see you guys next week. And again, if you want more information on how I control my time and how I like set those priorities and do all of that, it's an in-depth training for another day. But drop a peach below if you want access to that training and that guide that I provided for the lovely humans inside of the Kick in the Peach experience. All right, talk soon. Bye.